Live, local, late breaking. This is 4029 News at 4.
Hi, thank you for watching 4029 News at 4. I'm Allison Wise.
And I'm Brandon Evans. We begin with 4 things to know.
First, the stock market took quite a tumble today. Each of the major indices saw significant drops as fears of a slowing U.S. economy are growing. We have a closer look at the exact numbers in a moment.
Vice President Kamala Harris expected to announce her running mate this week. The presumptive Democratic nominee has a Wednesday deadline to do so. That's in order for both candidates to appear on the Ohio ballot. Harris will become the official nominee when voting in the party's virtual roll call closes tonight at 5.
And students across our area head back to school over the next few weeks. In Spiro, that process started today. Poto and Sallisaw students return to class on Thursday. Most other districts return next week.
And it's an impact day in the River Valley as we prepare for what's typically the hottest part of the year. We have live team coverage on the extreme heat in our area, and that starts now with 4029 Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee.
Yeah, you know, tomorrow could be even hotter. Taking a live look out there right now, we can see we do have clear skies. Our temperatures across the region look pretty hot. They're going to look even hotter as we go into tomorrow. We'll talk more about that and when a series of cold fronts could cool us off a little bit. That's coming up with the full forecast.
And first at 4, breaking news. The closing bell ended trading for the day a little more than an hour ago. Nearly everything on Wall Street tumbled as fears of a slowing U.S. economy worsened. And today's drop, the worst in nearly 2 years. It continued a global rout in financial markets.
4029's Chip Scarborough is now breaking down the numbers for us from today.
Allison, Brandon, the Dow plunged 1,000 points almost as soon as trading started today. It made some temporary gains throughout the day, but when all was said and done, it was still down more than 1,000. Take a look right now at the numbers on your screen. A huge loss for the Dow today, down almost 1,034 to close the day at 38,703. To the NASDAQ now, which dropped 576 to end at 16,200 for today. And not a good day either for the S&P 500, which fell 160 to finish out at 5,186 for this Monday. Let's see how our local stocks of interest performed. Walmart down 87 cents to close at 67.59. Tyson Foods actually rose $1.28 to end at 62.51, and JB Hunt dipped 261 to finish out at 160.98. Some stocks with Arkansas ties to check up on now. ArcBest ticked down 61 cents to round out the day at 104.87. A bigger loss for Dillard's, which dropped 291 to end at 359.45, and Murphy USA saw an even bigger dip, falling $4.51 to finish out at 508.63. Now, this all follows what was a rough finish to last week after a weaker than expected jobs report. The sell-off started in Asia. Japan's Nikkei plunged 12%. Now, it's the worst day since the Black Monday crash in 1987. Investors reacted to Friday's stock declines here, and news that the U.S. unemployment rate hit 4.3%.
That is historically low joblessness, but it does show that joblessness has increased more than 0.5% since January, when unemployment was 3.7%, something that doesn't usually happen when the economy is healthy. A rise like that is historically a sign that a recession is imminent.
Many tech stocks led the downturn today, most of them relying on artificial intelligence trade. Clearly an overall dismal day for Wall Street. Experts say all this signals an interest rate cut coming from the Federal Reserve to fend off a recession. Live in the newsroom, Chip Scarborough, 4029 News.
Good update there, Chip. Now we'll take a live look outside. It's an impact day in the River Valley as the heat returns to our area. We'll take a look at your Get Ready forecast with 4029 Chief Meteorologist Darby Bybee.
All right, Darby, so what are we seeing outside right now?
Well, you know, it's pretty hot. No doubt about it. Hotter than it was yesterday. We knew as we got into the start of this week, we're going to see temperatures come up a little bit. Out there right now in northwest Arkansas, mostly mid-90s, some low 90s, mid to upper 90s across the River Valley. The difference, though, between this week and last week, even though our temperatures inevitably could go higher than they did last week, especially as we go to tomorrow, our dew points, they're all mostly in the 60s, even some 50s. We were consistently in the 70s pretty much all of last week. We're not going to have that this week. So the humidity, not as much of a factor, but it still has its effect. And so it feels like mid-90s to around 100 across the area when you factor in that humidity. Not as bad as last week, but again, pretty brutal still. Clear skies, taking a live look here from Rogers, top of the TV station. Waking up tomorrow morning to temperatures in the low 70s, not the 60s we've seen the last couple mornings. So a little bit warmer in the morning. By the afternoon, high temperatures up near the century mark. Could be the hottest day of the year. We haven't officially gotten to 100 degrees yet at Fayetteville's Drake Field in northwest Arkansas, though we've seen plenty of 100-degree heat in the River Valley. We've seen some days in Benton County we got close to 100, but not quite there just yet. May get there tomorrow. River Valley, I think we definitely will. After starting off in the mid-70s in the morning, we're looking at low 100s tomorrow. So we're tagging on 3 to 4 degrees above where we're at today. You'll notice the increase in heat tomorrow. We're going to talk more about when to expect our next cold fronts. There's 2 of them we're tracking right now. We'll talk more about that in the full forecast.
Stay up to date with the changing weather by downloading the 4029 News app in the Google Play and Apple app stores. First at 4, we do have the body camera footage showing the moment Fort Smith police officers found a reported armed man hiding in a box. We'll get to 4029's Chip Scarborough, who's back in the newsroom with how this unfolded. Chip.
Allison, it all started with a report of an armed man inside of Mercy Fort Smith Hospital 2 weeks ago today on July 22nd, forcing those inside of the facility to scramble to get everyone to safety while law enforcement combed through the entire hospital.
Hands down!
This is body camera video from the Fort Smith Police Department showing the moment an intense search for a reported armed man ended inside of Mercy Fort Smith Hospital.
Put your hands up first now.
Police say they found 34-year-old John West hiding inside of a box in this educational room of the hospital.
Go ahead and step up, brother.
Police go on to repeatedly instruct West to raise his hands and step out of the box. One officer eventually grabs hold of the box, revealing West.
Put your hands on your head, man.
After numerous commands from police, you can see one officer grab West and pull him out of the corner onto his stomach and then handcuffed. His belongings are searched, and you can see an officer retrieve the weapon, which authorities say turned out to be a water gun, spray painted black.
Stand up.
West is then escorted out of the classroom, through the hospital hallways, and placed into a patrol unit. Investigators say West was previously banned from the hospital, although it's not exactly clear why he was there that day. He's facing a number of charges, including aggravated assault. Police say that's because he pointed the water gun at hospital security. Live in the newsroom, Chip Scarborough, 4029 News.
ABC News reports Vice President Kamala Harris is still deliberating her VP pick. She's expected to announce her decision by tomorrow night.
Meanwhile, the Trump campaign's trying to clarify up past controversial comments by Trump VP candidate J.D. Vance. ABC's Jay O'Brien has the latest.
Vice President Kamala Harris hurtling towards announcing her running mate, expected to come before tomorrow night when she and her VP pick will hold a rally in Philadelphia. Sources telling ABC News Harris met one-on-one this weekend with top contenders, including Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, but hasn't yet made a final decision.
Anything on the VP stakes yet?
I got nothing for you, man.
Meantime, Trump's VP pick, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, still facing scrutiny over controversial comments like this one from 2021.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
This morning, Vance's wife, Usha, responding in an interview with Fox News, calling her husband's remarks a quip.
What he was really saying is that it can be really hard to be a parent in this country, and sometimes our policies are designed in a way that make it even harder.
Recent battleground state polls showing Harris running better against Trump than Biden. On GMA this morning, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, instrumental in the Democratic effort to push Biden not to run, downplaying reports she was working the phones to pressure the president.
The only person that I spoke to about this was the president. Other people called me about what their views were about it, but I rarely even returned a call, much less initiated one.
Back to that impending VP pick. After that rally in Pennsylvania, Harris will then blitz 6 more battleground states in 5 days with her new running mate, introducing them to the nation. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
And still to come tonight at 4, an Olympic swimmer shares her story.
She says for some athletes, the games are a chance to represent their country on the world stage.
Being able to carry the flag just exceeds all expectation. Being able to do that, go down the Seine, honor my family and honor my country, it means the world.
For athletes from Palestine, it's also a chance to raise awareness about what it's like on the ground amid the ongoing war with Palestine and Israel.
He's nicknamed the French Michael Phelps. I'm Deirdre Fitzpatrick in Paris, where Léon Marchand is quickly becoming a swimming legend.
It's an Impact Day. We have a live look outside. After the weekend break, the heat we saw last week is set to return.
Yeah, hope you took advantage of some of that brief relief that we had this weekend. And you spent a little bit of time outside?
Yeah, I was at the backpack giveaway. I went to the lake. Yeah, it wasn't too terrible, at least for that period of time.
All right, so 4029 meteorologist Majestic Storm is going to tell us what to expect if you're going to be out and about tonight now.
It was a beautiful start to our new work week. Plenty of sunshine, but boy, those temperatures were hot. And if you do have any plans tonight, here's 6 o'clock, struggling to cool down, still well into the 90s. By 8 o'clock, we'll start to see some 80-degree temperatures filter in under mostly clear conditions. And by 10 o'clock tonight, starting to see some 70s. Quiet throughout the overnight hours. We are dry, but it stays warm throughout tonight and into tomorrow. Only slipping down really into the low to mid 70s. Beautiful weather tomorrow, but boy, we could see extremely hot temperatures with a return of 100 degrees and even greater.
Most trusted local morning news.
Or 4029 News Sunrise.